On Parah Perek Bet Mishnah Bet, second Mishnah and the 12th and final chapter of Masechet Parah. We're talking about haza'ah, the sprinkling of the Parah Aduma water, which has the ashes of Parah Aduma and the water. And we said, according to the Tana Kama in the last Mishnah, we said that if it was too long or too short, you could tie it to a chut, a string, or a kush, or the spindly thing, basically a stick of some kind, in order to dip it, and then you had to hold it when you were sprinkling. So the Mishnah says, Hiza, if you sprinkled, Safek min hachut, Safek min hakush. So now you're like, so let's assume this is my short, this is the green thing is my short bundle of zatar, and it's attached to the stick. So when I'm flicking, and it's attached to the stick, and I don't know, did the spritz come from the string or from the kush, from the spindle? Safek mina givol, or maybe it was from the bundle, from the actual zatar plant. Hazayato psula. That's not good. Has to be definitely dibainan haza'a vaday min ha'izov. It has to be definitely from the hisap, from the zatar. Mishum de aminan ha'amei tamei al chezkato. Because we said that the guy who's tamei, he's tamei until we know that he was tahor. So unless the spritz definitely spritzed from the izov, from the hisap, it's pasul. He's al shnei kelim. So now we're going to have a series of cases where we're not entirely sure whether the spritz hit the thing. So you remember, you want to spritz kelim to make them tahor. So you sprinkled on Yiddish. You sprinkled on two kelim, two utensils. Safek al shneim hiza. You're not sure if you sprinkled on both of them, or safek michaviro mitza alav, or you sprinkled on one and it bounced boom, 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 boom onto the other one. Then hazayato psula. That's also not good for the exact same reason. Machachi nitunua al cheres. And now you want to sprinkle on a machat, on a needle. That's tamei also. The needle became tamei, and you want to make it tahor. So you place it on a piece of cheres, and now you sprinkle you sprinkle, and did you hit? It's a little tricky. Did you hit the needle, or did it sprinkle onto? Did you hit the cheres and then splashed onto the needle? So machat nitun al cheres. You have a needle on a piece of earthenware. Hiza aleh, and you sprinkled. Safek ala machat hiza. Safek min cheres mitza aleh. But you're unsure. It's doubtful whether you sprinkled onto the needle, or you're unsure whether you hit the cheres mitza aleh, and then I guess it means it again dripped on it, or it splashed on it. Hazayato psula. That's also pasul. New case. Tzlochit shepi hatzar. If I have a receptacle, a vessel, so I'm dipping. I have my korban juice, my chatat juice, my Parah Aduma water, and I'm dipping into it. But now, let's say I have a little tzlochit. So the way I'm dipping my zatar, I'm dipping my hisap into the thing. So now I have my tzlochit, but it's a very narrow, little juglet. Tovel u'ma'aleh kedarko. I just dip in and I pull out. So even though when I pull out, it's being sort of strained in a little way. We do it, and that's fine. We assume that's okay. V'lo armina, we don't say mitoch shenitchak b'piyah because there's pressure at the mouth. Let's say to come out. Shema yachzeru amayim letoch hakli. Maybe the water will return into the kli. V'lo yishaer be'ezav kashiyor. You won't have enough because all you need is any amount. Okay, well, you have a kosher, you have to spritz. How much do you have to have Parah Aduma water? You have to spritz. It's just to spray a little bit of a sprinkle. That's all you need. That's why Tovel Malek Darko. Rabbi Yehuda says Hazaya Rishona. The first sprinkling that you do with that ezov, that's what you're worried about. That's what the Bartanura. Hazaya Rishona lo chashin. In the first sprinkle, we're not worried about. But if you sprinkle after that a second time. Okay, you sprinkle one guy, you sprinkle the next, and you sprinkle the next. So then you're minimizing the water. We are concerned. Rabbi Yehuda says the second one. Remember, there's not enough. So we don't have to hold like Rabbi Yehuda. So now you're running, and the water is running out. You're sprinkling, the coin sprinkling, and the water's running out. You don't have to dip the whole thing. You can tovel even the head of the stalks and then sprinkle. So is like a sponge, but you're not trying to sop it up. Okay, and look at the Bartanura. You're not trying to like when you have like sauce at the bottom, like the ketchup at the bottom of your French fries. You're like trying to find around. You have to dip it Okay, velo misaveh. You have to dip it. You're not trying to sop it up. If you want to sprinkle, you're trying to go backwards, but you go zhup and backwards. Or you're trying to go backwards and it goes forwards. That's pasul. You have to have kavana. Lifanav, if you have intention to sprinkle before you. But if you're going forward, but it like went to the side, hazayato sheira. That sprinkling is fine. Mazin alada midaato v'shalom midaato. The sprinkling has to be done b'chavana for the sprinkler. Let's look at the Bartuna for a second. Dibi'inan kavanat hazaa. You have to have the intent to sprinkle. Okay, and if you don't intend to sprinkle, if you intend to sprinkle forward and you went backwards, that's no good. Mazin alada midato v'shalom midato. I said you can sprinkle on someone whether he knows or not, because the sprinklee, okay, it doesn't have to have kavana, and therefore you can do it. Even the Kati says you can do it even on someone who's sleeping. Okay, mazin al adam v'ala kelim v'afilu hen me'ah. You can sprinkle on one person and on vessels, even if there are 100 of them. V'lo ba'ina haza'ah b'fnei atzma l'chol ish v'ish. You can sprinkle all at once, as long as you're sprinkling. You can like take this and like splash a ton. Even if there are 100 kelim at one time, as long as you get the water on every one of them. We'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.